They have now located Vance Boelter, the suspect in the Minnesota lawmaker shooting. They've located his vehicle and they've located his cowboy hats and some other personal items in this area where I am right now, southwest of Minneapolis. I'm along State Highway 25. You can see they've got the whole area closed down. There's a ton of police out here. There was an emergency alert that just went out telling everybody in this area to stay inside their homes, to lock their doors. They don't know whether he is on the run, like on foot out here, or whether he may have gotten another getaway car and taken off from the area. That we don't know, but this is a new scene that's just developed. There's actually a, let me show you this. There's a SWAT truck that's about to show up. Let me walk over here. Here we go. It's about to go by here. So a lot going on out here. This is really the first big development since the shooting happened in terms of where this man might be. So I'll keep you guys posted. So something interesting, all these police officers have now lined up in the road. You see in the distance there's like the SWAT trucks and everything near where the car was found, but they are all, I don't know what they're doing over here. Really have to zoom in. First I was thinking maybe like a grid search or something. Not sure, but out here you got a lot of media now starting to show up. It's my buddy Ben here. Say hi, Ben. Hi. Nate. Let's see. So look, they're all leaving in like a line. See, they're all leaving. So maybe they were just coordinating.
So as you guys just heard, they have now conveniently found Vance Boelter's vehicle and his cowboy hats abandoned in Sibley County. And right now there is a heavy police presence in Sibley County, which is a rural area, I believe, southwest of Minneapolis. And there's a lot of fields around. There's reports that a gunshot or two was heard. So chances are by the time you're watching this video, they will have already found his body or something in a field somewhere. Who knows? But one thing I do know is this story stinks to high heaven. There is something off about this story, and it is blatantly obvious. Now, for one, they have released photos of Vance in regular clothing, and they released photos of what they claim is Vance in some sort of police gear with a latex mask trying to break into someone's house. Now, I'm not telling you that the person in the mask is not Vance. That's not what I am here to say. I am not trying to convince you guys that the person in the mask is not Vance. But I will say this. If I was law enforcement, if I was an investigator on this case, I would be looking at these photos of Vance and the photos of this person in a mask, and I would be looking at the body type of these two individuals, and I would be scratching my head asking some questions. Obviously, we don't have like a clear full body shot of the person in a mask that was wearing like police gear. We don't have a full body shot. All we got is kind of like grainy photos from a Ring doorbell camera. So it's really hard to tell. But in my personal opinion, at first glance, and I could be wrong, I'm open to being wrong, but at first glance, it kind of looks like Vance Boelter is much larger than the person that is wearing a mask trying to break into that person's home. Now, this could be Vance. I'm not telling you that it's not Vance. Once again, all I'm saying is if I'm looking at these photos side by side, I'm questioning, hey, Vance looks like he's much heavier than the person in this photo. But then again, we don't got a full body shot. Who am I to say? I don't know, right? But the story gets weirder from there as well. For example, we know that Vance had a wife, 5 kids, had a nice little home, had a little bit of property. Yet for some reason, we are being led to believe that Vance was living at this random house with this Papa John's pizza delivery guy. Vance had a wife, kids, and a home. He's supposedly the CEO of all of these organizations overseas. He has his own security business. The guy should have been pretty well off if we were to believe everything else that we were told about him. But for some reason, he's living in this random house with a fat Papa John's pizza delivery roommate that claims that he voted for Trump. Now, all of this, every other piece of background information that we got on this guy would suggest something different. He and his wife both worked for Tim Walz. This guy was working over in Africa, doing God knows what. This guy was a vocal leader, someone who helped African immigrants come to Minneapolis, come to Minnesota. Yet we're led to believe that he is this hardcore Trump supporter, and the only evidence of that we have is some fat Papa John's pizza delivery guy that Vance was so-called living with, even though Vance was also living with his wife and kids at his own home. So, it's really weird. It's getting really weird. But speaking of Vance's wife, apparently, Vance's wife was stopped by law enforcement. She had some of their kids in the car, not all, had a bunch of cash, a firearm, and passports. It looks like Vance's wife was getting ready to make a run for it to wherever, God knows where, had a boatload of cash, had weapons, had some of the kids, had passports, and she was caught along the way. But that makes me feel like maybe she played a part in this as well. Something is really off here. But I want to go ahead and roll this news clip where they talk about his wife being stopped by the police. Before I do that, though, make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think so far. If you really support the channel and you appreciate and value these videos, you can also donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always humbly and greatly appreciated. But with that being said, let's go ahead and roll this news clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Reporter Tom Hauser, and Tom has new information from multiple law enforcement sources about Boelter's wife being detained today, Tom.
Yeah, I've been working the phones for several hours, as you know, trying to track this down while we were all covering the manhunt here in the Twin Cities this morning. Sources tonight tell me the case was also taking a turn about 90 minutes to the north near Onamia in Mille Lacs County. Multiple law enforcement sources with direct knowledge of what happened tell 5 Eyewitness News there was a traffic stop at a convenience store near Onamia. Between 10 and 11 a.m. this morning, law enforcement made a traffic stop involving a vehicle carrying several relatives of Vance Boelter, including his wife. We have talked to an eyewitness who says about a dozen law enforcement squads converged on the vehicle and remained on the scene for 2 to 3 hours. We are also told by several of our sources the vehicle contained a weapon, ammunition, cash, and passports. Now, to our knowledge, no one in that group has been arrested, just detained for questioning. It's also unclear why they were stopped, whether they were being tracked, or if it was a random traffic stop. I am told briefings about this incident are ongoing yet tonight, and we will continue to track more developments. And again, sources say Vance Boelter's wife is among those detained for questioning. And I did have one source very late in the evening, just before the newscast, say that she was being tracked. So this was not a random traffic stop. They had an idea of where she was, and they were able to track her down. Again, we're still gathering more details, and we'll have much more coming up tomorrow.
Tom Hauser reporting.
And nobody knows where he is tonight.
No, he is still at large.
Okay.
So his wife is obviously running from something. The question is she running because she thinks Vance may be a threat to her and their kids? Is she running because she was part of this plot and she doesn't want to be caught up in all of it? Is she running because her family has been framed for something that they haven't done? Is Vance the fall man, the patsy? What is really going on here? And why is it that this man has been able to evade law enforcement for this long? A massive manhunt underway, and they can't find this guy. They can find his wife, but they can't find him. And I would ask this question: if the wife was just scared of Vance, right? If the wife was just scared that her husband snapped and lost his mind, and she was afraid for her safety and her kids' safety, couldn't she just call police? Couldn't she just let law enforcement know? Why would she take out a bunch of money from the bank, gather her kids and her passports, hop in the car and ride as if they're trying to disappear to a foreign country somewhere? That makes me think that she's scared of something more than just Vance. That makes me think that she's scared of our government. That makes me think that she does not trust law enforcement. That makes me think that she did not think in her mind that she could trust law enforcement in this case. So instead, she packed her strap, thousands of dollars, not even all of the kids, but some of the kids, and some passports, and she tried to hightail it out of there. Without calling 911, without going to anyone else for help. Maybe she didn't think that she could go to anyone else for help. Maybe this situation is deeper than what a lot of people think. Maybe she has a reason not to trust the government here. But I'm telling you right now, something ain't right. Something is not right. And the wife definitely holds some answers. She has some information that I would be interested in knowing. Because for law enforcement to have to catch her as she's running away, I just feel like it shows that she's at least somewhat involved. She had some knowledge about what was happening, or there's even something deeper here. And this is a bigger, deeper conspiracy. And she's afraid for her life because she doesn't trust the government. I don't know. Something really odd. And the fact that Vance hasn't been caught yet is odd to me as well. He got into a shootout with law enforcement. This is a big, hefty dude, y'all. Vance is no small fry. He is a big, hefty dude. He looks much larger than the person that they showed us in the mask, but hey, whatever. Vance is a pretty large dude. And he's an older gentleman as well. He's no spring, physically fit chicken, all right? But we're supposed to believe that on foot, this guy got away from law enforcement after getting into a shootout with them. Now, I'm not law enforcement, but when you're in a situation like that, the first thing you try to do is secure the perimeter. You secure the perimeter to ensure that your suspect does not get away. But apparently they did not secure the perimeter. They did not secure anything. because this fat old dude was able to get away from law enforcement, and still at the time of this recording, things may change, but at the time of this recording, he has not been caught yet. Yet they were able to find his vehicle. He just left his vehicle. Lights still going. His fake police lights still going. With the no kings, flyers in the back and all of that other stuff that could have been placed there. Who knows? So yeah, I'm definitely feeling weird about this story. I don't think anyone can convince me otherwise. I've seen too many weird things when it comes to this story. How did this guy go from a 7-Eleven manager to being some type of security agent overseeing food supplies in the Congo? Lord knows. Either we're being lied to about this guy's background, or he lied about his background this entire time. I don't know. But I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to keep watching. I'll let you guys know any updates. For now, you guys let me know what you think, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.